Welcome to the final section of Chapter 1, Meeting AI. We are now in Section 5, Myths and Literacy, Common Misconceptions and Why AI Literacy Matters. Up to this point, we've defined what artificial intelligence actually is and mapped out its 5 core capabilities. We drew a strict line between the narrow AI tools we use today and the theoretical concept of general AI, and we located where these narrow tools already operate in our daily lives. Before we dive into the concepts, here is the roadmap for this final section. We will cover subsections 5.1 through 5.7, starting with why misconceptions are common, moving through myths of pop culture, knowledge, and accuracy, and finishing with what AI literacy means. We begin with subsection 5.1, why misconceptions about AI are so common. Tech companies routinely use aggressive marketing language to sell products, applying phrases like AI that thinks or understands. Combine that marketing with a technology that has scaled rapidly since 2022, and public understanding simply lags behind the deployment of the tools. Because the technology evolves faster than accurate information can spread, many people fill that vacuum of understanding with strong prior assumptions. If someone expects a magical thinking machine, real AI might feel disappointing. If they expect useless hype, they might be caught off guard by what the software can actually do. This brings us to subsection 5.2, myths from movies and pop culture. Many of the assumptions people bring to AI originate on screen. Fiction conditions us to picture conscious humanoid robots plotting to take over the world. The technical reality is quite different. Today's AI has no goals of its own. It is mostly invisible software running on massive physical cloud servers. When a chatbot responds with a warm, conversational tone, it can feel like the AI has emotions or genuinely wants to help you. It does not. That language is the result of mathematical pattern matching, not felt emotion. There is also no single giant AI brain coordinating everything. The current landscape consists of thousands of distinct, separate tools built by entirely different companies and research groups. Viewing AI through the lens of pure hype or pure threat blocks our ability to evaluate it accurately. Real AI is highly useful, strictly limited, and deeply integrated into software we already use. Evaluating this technology properly means discarding cinematic exaggerations, so we can focus on real structural challenges, like its impact on the workforce and the urgent need for human oversight. Subsection 5.3 covers myths about what AI knows and understands. Interacting with a fluent chatbot creates a powerful psychological illusion. We assume a chatbot knows things like a person, referencing absolute truth. Instead, it predicts likely word sequences from training data. Its flawless grammar creates a false impression of understanding, but it only processes explicitly provided text. Many users also assume a chatbot performs a live internet search every time it answers. Depending on the tool and your settings, it is often relying purely on static training data. Even when web retrieval is enabled, the system can still summarize poorly, miss crucial context, or pull from weak sources. Generative AI is explicitly designed to sound confident. You have to break the psychological link between a grammatically perfect tone and factual correctness. A chatbot can deliver false information in the exact same calm voice it uses for the truth. That leads us to subsection 5.4, myths about AI accuracy and trustworthiness. Because AI is software, people often assume its outputs are perfectly neutral. AI systems are built by humans, trained on data generated by humans, and guided by human design choices. Consequently, any bias present in that training data frequently appears in the AI's output. This is documented reality. Commercial facial recognition systems have demonstrated higher error rates for darker-skinned women compared to lighter-skinned men. Automated hiring algorithms have instantly rejected applicants based on age thresholds, and research shows these systems can disadvantage candidates with speech disabilities or non-native accents. Because human data drives these systems, you should practice a privacy pause before entering sensitive information into a prompt.
Ask yourself 3 questions. Could this upload train future models? If yes, am I comfortable with that? And could a wrong output hurt someone if I act on it? Treating software as inherently objective does not remove bias. It simply makes those embedded systemic flaws much harder to see. Beyond bias, there is the risk of what researchers call hallucination. A hallucination occurs when an AI system confidently invents facts, fabricates quotes, or generates citations for sources that do not exist. The professional stakes here are high. In one highly publicized case, attorneys used a chatbot to prepare a legal filing. The software completely fabricated the case law it cited, and the attorneys were sanctioned by the court. Using a larger or newer model does not automatically eliminate this risk. While powerful, current AI cannot reliably replace human judgment in high-stakes situations. It cannot understand nuance, take professional responsibility, or realize when crucial information is missing. This creates two opposing risks for users: over-trusting the system because it sounds authoritative, and under-trusting it by rejecting the technology completely. Navigating these tools requires a practice called calibrated trust. You use AI where it provides genuine leverage, verify its work wherever there is risk, and maintain the precise judgment to know the difference. To develop that judgment, we turn to subsection 5.5, what AI literacy actually means. AI literacy is often confused with prompt engineering, the technical skill of typing the right instructions into a chatbot, but prompt fluency is just mechanics. True AI literacy is an ongoing practice of evaluation and judgment. It consists of 5 core habits. First, recognize when AI is being used. Second, understand what it can and cannot do. Third, verify its outputs. Fourth, know exactly when human judgment is required. And fifth, use the tools responsibly and ethically. You can test this framework yourself with a verification drill. Ask an AI to name 3 recent research papers on AI bias in hiring, complete with authors and years. Then, take those exact citations and cross-reference them in Google Scholar or a university database. You will likely find that some exist exactly as described, some have errors, and some are complete fabrications. Treating AI outputs as early drafts rather than finalized facts, and applying strict manual verification is your primary defense against the software's failure modes. In subsection 5.6, we establish why AI literacy matters for school, work, and personal life. It is a baseline requirement. Employers increasingly expect workers to use these tools responsibly. Schools are shifting toward disclosure-based academic policies. And in your personal life, understanding AI is the only way to recognize generated scams, personalized phishing attempts, and privacy risks. Finally, subsection 5.7, how this chapter sets you up for the rest of the course. The concepts we have covered here provide the analytical lens you will need moving forward. Throughout the upcoming chapters, we will continually return to the 5 capabilities of AI. We will explore narrow AI examples across specific industries in greater detail, and we will rely on AI literacy as our core tool for evaluation. To close Chapter 1, let's lock in the key terminology. AI literacy is the skill of evaluating, judging, and responsibly using AI tools. A hallucination occurs when an AI produces confident but factually false content. Bias is a pattern in an AI's behavior that systematically favors or disfavors certain groups, often stemming from its training data. And verification is the practice of checking outputs against trusted sources before relying on them. Take a moment for a knowledge check. Identify one misconception from this section that you previously held and describe the accurate reality. Explain why AI literacy relies more on evaluation than prompt writing. And finally, describe one specific situation in your own life where AI literacy would help you make a better decision. When you master these habits, you stop being a passive consumer of technology and become an empowered, responsible evaluator. We'll see you in Chapter 2.